But our top story, the records that Dalal Street broke today, clearly fireworks as far as the stock markets are concerned, with the Sensex and Nifty breaking two records, first making fresh all-time intraday highs. As far as the Sensex is concerned, it was an intraday high of 21,483 when it opened this morning, and then it also closed at its highest ever level of 21,326. That's up 329 points. A similar picture with regard to the Nifty, that also edged above the 6,400 mark in trade this morning, and then closing yet again at its record high of 6,363. Let's take a look at the intraday chart to tell you the story, because that is something which is very important, and the reasons why we saw the Sensex and the Nifty touch its lifetime highs. Well, after the exit poll results, we again saw a huge rally when the exit polls suggested that BJP will sweep the state polls, and when the outcome was similar, in fact, even more in favor of the BJP than what the exit polls had predicted, that's the impact that you saw on the market. So do the markets see the BJP as more business friendly, more pro-industry, and the markets are betting clearly on the BJP winning the 2014 elections. That's the big story we're going to be discussing on Rebooting India today. The rupee there on your screen closing at 61.13, but remember, it went above the 61 mark to the dollar, so the rupee performing extremely well, and the markets, of course, making history today. Let me actually tell you what some of the foreign brokerages have been saying with regard to the state polls and its impact on the economy as well as on the markets. We've got foreign brokerage Nomura saying the state election results are likely to boost sentiment. The results will be very well received by the market. The state poll results, however, will have no fundamental impact on the overall outlook or on the economy. They have, of course, maintained a Sensex target of 22,000 by March 2014, at the same time warning that chasing the rally is not prudent. Talking about sectors specifically, Nomura says the banking sector will benefit the most from elections, and a stable government in 2014 will remove all uncertainty for investments. Credit Suisse also, in a report this morning, said the surprisingly strong and rapid rise of the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi is a turning point for Indian politics. The Aam Aadmi Party plans to be the third largest party in 2014, and this would change the discourse on probity in public life, reforms as well as government responsiveness, saying that the rally may continue, but the warning that they remain cautious and that 2014 elections are unlikely to revive investments for a few years, saying the central government actions take at least 6 to 8 months for the impact, and that the rhythm of reforms runs very differently from political cycles. Let me now go across to two of our guests who are there with us to discuss what kind of an impact can this have on the economy as well as the markets, both in the short term as well as the long term. Vivek Mehra, partner of PricewaterhouseCoopers, and very well-known economist Brinda Jagirdar now join us on the show to really understand the impact of the state poll results on markets and the economy. Mr. Mehra, to you first. Are you surprised by the reaction of the stock markets? Is it a knee-jerk reaction, or is it really reflecting the true realities that the markets are clearly betting on a BJP-led government? It's the Modi wave playing out on Dalal Street.
I fully agree with that. I think the market is waiting for some good news, and I think this is setting the tone as to where 2014 is going, and I think it's in anticipation of that. I won't be able to say whether the jump was right or measured correctly, but yes, the sentiment is there very clearly.
Mr. Mehra, if we could take that point forward, why is it that the markets are looking forward to such a change? We know UPA2, during the UPA2 tenure, we saw tremendous policy paralysis, but all this while we were expecting the markets to say, you know what, we just want stability in 2014, never mind which government is there, because at the end of the day, reforms should continue. But now increasingly the brokerages that you're talking to, the analysts that you're speaking to, say that what the markets are clearly sending a signal is that they are looking forward to Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, because they believe that the NDA government will be able to usher in a new wave of reforms. Would you believe that that's a correct sentiment right now as far as corporate India is concerned, or do you also think that that kind of exuberance may be slightly misplaced?
You see, when there is policy paralysis, then you want stability. But what you really need in India is growth. You need a facilitative environment to take this economy to much higher reaches. And people believe that Mr. Modi will possibly bring that in. And that is the euphoria that is being created because they feel that it's on that path.
Brinda, my question to you really would be on the turn of events that we've seen and what led the markets to really hit lifetime highs today. Of course, today it's sentiment driven by the fact that the BJP swept the state polls, but also we've seen a number of other factors at play as well. The current account deficit, for instance, looks much more under control now. So is it a number of factors that are playing out as far as the stock markets are concerned, or can we simply attribute it to the political developments for now?
I think there are. Sorry.
Go.
Yeah, Brinda, please go ahead.
For me? Yeah. Okay. No, I think there are a number of factors, as you rightly said. When sentiment and expectations are very important drivers of investment, because when you expect that the economy will grow, that's when demand will grow, and that's when you would be willing to invest. So I think that is one area, and the whole environment. It's a stable environment that the markets, that the investors are looking for. And I think that promise of stability in environment, that again helped to cheer the markets. And probity in public life, I think that's a very important point that you brought up, and that has been mentioned. In fact, there was a recent report saying world over something like 1 trillion is lost just through corruptions, etc. So if we can channel all this into productive growth, then I think that would be a very big positive. So it's not, and I mean, one of course is the enabling environment, the political environment, and yes, some of the macro data that was coming in has also been positive, like for example, the current account deficit. So the very fact that the government is going to act, and I mean, government has already taken steps, and the current account deficit is showing, I mean, it's showing some results on the current account deficit, is also adding to the cheer. So it's not just the stock markets, it's the currency markets, it's the forex markets, it's the general sentiment that is upbeat. And with this, if we see actual movement on the ground in terms of investment happening, I think that would be very positive for investors, and investors would now be looking to invest.